What is this supposed to be? You're being evicted. Patricia Hensley, the self-appointed queen of Brookstone Estates, stormed into the new homeowner's doorway with a clipboard clutched to her chest. Her words cracked through the air like thunder as she barked about inspection rights and community violations. The black man standing by the entryway didn't flinch. He stayed calm, still, watching her trample every boundary she imagined she ruled. Patricia marched deeper inside, snapping photos on her phone, unaware that the man she was trying to intimidate was the one person she'd wish she'd left alone. For years, Patricia had treated the neighborhood like her private kingdom. With her clipboard polished, her smile mechanical, and her tone full of fake authority, she'd built her reputation on arrogance, not kindness. Every black homeowner in Brookstone Estates knew her name. She was the HOA president who never asked. She ordered. Patricia had a pattern: a fence too tall, a mailbox the wrong shade, a flower bed too bright. Then came the phony fines and imaginary violations. Those who resisted got inspection visits. Those who pushed back harder were harassed until they sold their homes cheap. Patricia thrived on it, collecting quiet victories, one forced move out at a time. And each time another family left, she smiled like she'd done something righteous. One morning, she spotted a new moving truck pulling up to the corner house. Out stepped a black man, calm, sharply dressed, moving with unhurried purpose. His name was Elijah Ward, and he had just bought the old Thompson place. The moment she saw him, irritation pricked at her like a rash. Another one of those types, she thought. Someone who'd question her rules. She decided immediately she'd handle him early, keep him in line before he got too comfortable. Later that week, she marched up his driveway, clipboard tucked under her arm, heels striking the pavement like gavel blows. Elijah opened the door with a polite nod. "Good afternoon," Patricia began with her practiced smile. "Welcome to Brookstone Estates. I'm Patricia Hensley, HOA president. We'll be doing your inspection soon. You'll receive notice shortly." Elijah's brow furrowed. "Inspection? I wasn't told about that." "All homes must comply with community standards," she said curtly. "I suggest you cooperate." Elijah didn't argue. He nodded once more, thanked her quietly, and closed the door. That calmness infuriated her. It wasn't fear, it was confidence. And Patricia despised confidence. As she walked back to her car, the fake smile fell from her face. "We'll see how long he lasts," she muttered. The next morning, she woke up irritated. She'd seen Elijah out front the night before, trimming branches, unpacking boxes labeled office files. To her, it looked deliberate, like a challenge. By noon, Patricia was marching down the street again, heels ticking like a countdown. Clipboard ready, she stopped in front of Elijah's door and pressed the bell. He answered just as calmly as before. "Mrs. Hensley, can I help you?" "This is an official HOA inspection," she snapped. "I'm here to check the property for violations." Elijah raised an eyebrow. "Inspection?" "I didn't request one." "You don't request," she shot back. "I enforce. If you've got nothing to hide, you'll let me do my job." Elijah exhaled slowly, hand resting on the doorframe. "You're not coming in. That's not how things work here." The simple, even tone hit her like a slap. No one had ever told her no before, not in this neighborhood. Her jaw tightened. "Excuse me? I'm the HOA president. I have every right to enter." He stood unmoving. "Not without permission. And I'm not giving it." The silence that followed was sharp enough to draw blood. Neighbors peeked through their curtains, watching the standoff unfold like a live TV drama. Patricia's jaw tightened. Her whole identity was built on fear and dominance, and she refused to let anyone strip that away. With one aggressive shove, she forced the door open wider and marched right in. Ever met someone who believed they owned everything, including your own house? What would you do if your neighbor barged in, claiming they had authority? Before we go on, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments. And if you agree that no title gives anyone the right to invade your home, hit that like button and subscribe to Story FBI. Elijah didn't stop her. He just stood back, calm and unbothered, while she stomped through his living room, snapping photo after photo, muttering about violations and standards. Each click echoed through the air like nails on glass. Patricia thought she was proving power, but Elijah saw something else. Evidence. Proof of exactly who she was. Then her tirade stopped abruptly. Her eyes locked on the dining table, where a single sheet of paper rested. Her picture. Her address. And one word stamped across it in bold black letters. Evicted. She froze. Her hand trembled as she lifted the paper, staring like her eyes were deceiving her. But there it was. Her own face, her own address, marked with the word that had ruined so many others. What is this supposed to mean? She demanded, voice cracking between anger and confusion. Elijah didn't move. It means exactly what it says, he replied quietly. Patricia laughed nervously, waving the page in disbelief. You're joking, right? You think you can do this? Who do you even think you are? I'm the HOA president. I run this neighborhood. Elijah crossed his arms, expression unreadable. You've been running more than that. Mrs. Hensley, you've been bullying people out of their homes, forcing families to sell, intimidating anyone who doesn't fit your version of acceptable. Her face flushed red. I don't know what you're talking about. He nodded toward the paper still in her grip. You know exactly what that means. I've heard everything about what you've done here. Today I saw it for myself. Patricia shook her head in denial. You don't make the rules here. Elijah's tone stayed calm, steady. No, I don't make the rules. I own them. Her eyes widened. What did you just say? He took a few steps closer. When I moved in, I didn't just buy this house, Mrs. Hensley. I bought every house in this neighborhood. Every deed. Every property. It's all under my name now. The paper crumpled slightly in her tightening grip. You're lying. I don't need to lie, he said simply. I just needed to see the truth for myself. And I've seen enough. Silence filled the room. Patricia's voice dropped to a whisper. You're saying you own my home? Elijah met her gaze evenly. I'm saying you broke the agreement that lets you live here. And that means you're evicted. Her breath caught. Evicted? She repeated weakly, still hoping it was a mistake. That's right, Elijah said firmly. The harassment, the intimidation, the trespassing, it all ends today. For the first time, Patricia had no words. You can't do this to me, she finally stammered, voice trembling. This is my neighborhood. Elijah took one step closer, voice steady and final. No, Mrs. Hensley, it's my neighborhood now. Her knees almost buckled. She turned away, still clutching the paper like it could undo the truth. You'll regret this, she shouted, storming out the door. Elijah didn't respond. He just stood there as she stepped into the daylight, light that suddenly felt too harsh for her pride. She glared back one last time, face pale, eyes wide, disbelief etched across her expression. For the first time in years, the woman who ruled through fear had no control at all. And as the door closed behind her, the neighborhood finally exhaled, a quiet breath of freedom it hadn't felt in years. If you believe those who abuse power should face consequences, hit that like button and subscribe to Story FBI, because this time she forced her way in and found out who really owned the block.